What's going on, guys? It's Board Gamers Goon here today to talk about All In. Now you can see on my note card right here, there's no notes, just the match order. So I go in order. But All In sent a message. It sent a message loud and clear to Vince. The message that was received at All In was, you don't need the big spotlight of the WWE to have a big show. Now, they sold this thing out immediately. As soon as the tickets hit the market, this thing was sold out. The match card they put on was very good. There was a lot of highlights over the night. And this was probably the best event I've ever been to, including NXT. I know there were people saying NXT is about the same as All In was. Sure, All In gave you an NXT vibe, because that's the closest thing we get to what we got on Saturday night, but this was way better than any WWE programming I think I've ever been to. Now, I've been to TakeOver New Orleans, TakeOver Chicago. I've been to a couple takeovers. And I've also been to WrestleMania, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank. A few of those, Great Balls of Fire. But this was the best card I've ever seen put on. And it all started in the pre-show. This was the best pre-show I've ever watched. There's no might have ever watched. This was the best pre-show I've ever seen. It all started with the Briscoes and SCU. SCU wildly over. And then the Briscoes walking down the ring like the Briscoes do. And people just hated them. People were not having the Briscoes. But the thing is, with the Briscoes, they were more athletic in that match than I think anybody expected. There was a point where Mark Briscoe went up to the top rope and he was going to do the Doomsday device. Didn't work. SCU ended up picking up the victory. Very good opening match. Set the tone for the entire night. Now, sure, it might have been you might take that off the pre-show and put it on the main card, but I have no issue with it. This was the match to set the tone for the entire night. This was one of the best tag team matches we've seen in the past 5 years, maybe 10. Really good stuff from both teams. Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, very over, ended up getting the victory in the opening match for All In and set the tone for the entire day. Next, we have the Over the Budget Battle Royale. Now, I was thinking maybe Neville comes back, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, Moose just turned heel. Moose might win, even though he's not in Ring of Honor to fight Jay Lethal. I was like, doesn't mean he can't lose. Yeah, could make the match and just have it be a spectacle. One of TNA's top guys against Ring of Honor's top guy. Now, that was not how it came to be. I forgot about Flip Gordon. Flip Gordon was in one of the luchadors costumes. Nobody knew who he was at first, and then Bully Ray ends up taking out Jordan Grace, Tommy Dreamer, a bunch of the other people in the match. Billy Gunn had a good showing in the match. Marco Stunt, he had a phenomenal showing. He had a bunch of insecurities and stuff. Hurricanranas for Marco Stunt. But Bully Ray thought he had the match won. He eliminated Jordan Grace, and I believe it was Ethan Page. I'm not sure. It might have been Ethan Page. But he eliminated him. He thought he won. He's cheering. He thinks he's fighting Jay Lethal later in the night. He's not. The unmasked man comes on in. He hits Bully from behind, takes his mask off, Flip Gordon, and Flip Gordon proceeds to eliminate Bully Ray. And Flip Gordon has the end of the pre-show with putting on a new shirt, flips all out with the all out cross, flips all in, and then raising his hands up. Very good Very good battle royal. Best battle royal I've seen, I think, ever. It was a really good, really thought out battle royal, and that was the way to kick off the last match and getting into the show. It was a nice bridge to the show. And this is a match, the next one, that, I mean, it wasn't really a high work rate match to start off the show. I think it could have been in the pre-show a little bit, but boy, does MJF have good heel work. He's playing up to the crowd the entire time, saying, "You hate me," and all this crap. MJF, Michael Jordan Friedman, this man is money. Now, MJF's not going to get a huge reaction, especially when he's fighting a guy like Matt Cross. But MJF, I see a lot of potential in MJF. He's only been wrestling for 3 years. I believe he's 22, 24, something along those lines. Very young. I think he has a big future, and I think he could be in NXT very soon. MJF, really good heel work. Really liked what I saw from MJF. But this match wasn't the best match, but Matt Cross and MJF delivered about a 9-minute decent match to start off the show. Matt Cross ended up getting the victory, and I believe they said Matt Cross was wrestling for 20 years. If that is true, dang, that man looks good. That man looks like he's in his late 20s, like 28, 29. Now, I did not watch the recorded part of it. I was just listening to what other people said that listened to the other recording part of it, because I was there live. But if Matt Cross is been in the business for 20 plus years, you gotta think he's like 35, 36, something like that. And this man, he looks good for his age. Next, it is Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell. This was a good match. For Stephen Amell not having much experience in professional wrestling, obviously, being an actor in the Arrow series, he had a good showing. Now, you could expect little hiccups there, here and there. He did that. Christopher Daniels, obviously, he's been in the business for 26 years. Nobody better you can work with than Christopher Daniels. Nobody better with in the entire business that you can work with than Christopher Daniels. And Christopher Daniels did a good job on making Stephen Amell look good. Now, the high spot in this match is Stephen Amell got Christopher Daniels onto the table, which was leveraged on the which was up on the outside, right? Stephen Amell's on the top rope, and he's looking around, getting a loud pop from the crowd there in Chicago, and he does an elbow drop. And what we didn't see at first is Daniels rolled out. Huge elbow drop onto the side. Huge spot. Changed the whole thing. That gave Daniels some momentum. Daniels ended up picking the victory. But we had a chance of Broken Arrow. This was a good match. This was a good match for the fact that Stephen Amell had no professional wrestling background. He really didn't. Even if he had professional wrestling background, this would still be a pretty good match. For as much as he did, I think he overachieved most of our expectations. Stephen Amell did good in this match. I give him a nice round of applause. He deserves everything. And after the match, the show of respect from Christopher Daniels and Stephen Amell shaking hands, giving Stephen Amell the spotlight to raise his hand up on the rope like Daniels did. Very, very well thought out. Very nice, respectable thing to do. Next, we had probably in the top 3 for MVP. We had a match of Tessa Blanchard, Chelsea Green, Madison Rayne, and Britt Baker. And boy, was Chelsea Green on fire. Everything about that match was brought to another level because of Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green at one point in this match, she was walking the rope. She did a jump off the rope into an armbar. Very good spot. But Chelsea Green gets the MVP for this match. Obviously, Tessa Blanchard is very good too, but I expected that out of Tessa. Tessa did what she did. She had a spear, very brutal spear too. But Tessa is money. Tessa is a diamond. A very, very, very good wrestler. And obviously, watch TNA, you know Madison Rain's decent. And, you know, Britt Baker's okay. But Madison Rain was the lackey here. Britt Baker had her moments in this match. Tessa had her moments. Tessa ended up winning. But Chelsea Green blew everybody out of the water. Chelsea Green did what she had to do, and she was definitely the MVP of this entire match. Very good spots for Chelsea Green. And after the match, they all embraced in a hug and rose each other's hands. Very good feel-good moment, like it was a 4 Horsewomen back in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. But it wasn't. It was independent women's wrestling. And it's probably been the best women's wrestling match we've seen in a while. Very good stuff from the women on that night. Next, we had the biggest pop of the night. And no, it wasn't for Joey Ryan, no. The biggest pop of the night was for my boy, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out with his entire family. He has his DDP with him. Is his wife, obviously. He comes out with a bunch of people. Then Aldis brings his camp out. Very good. It made it a big fight feel. It made it a really big fight feel. Then when we get into the match, Aldis and Cody, very, very good match. Aldis, he had Cody where he wanted him a little bit. And then out of nowhere comes in DDP. DDP hits a diamond cutter onto one of Aldis' camp. I don't know which one it was. He had a DDP, or he hit the diamond cutter onto him. DDP did. And that kind of helped Cody Rhodes get some momentum. Cody Rhodes came back in the ring. They exchanged a couple moves. And then Aldis, he went for a roll-up. Cody reversed the roll-up. Reversed it again, and then reversed it again. Cody, he got a hold of the legs. 1, 2, 3. We have a new NWA champion. Cody Rhodes won the match. Huge standing ovation. You deserve it, chants. Cody chants. Everything you can think of was chanted towards this man. People were loving this man up and down the entire time. He was sitting in the ring, holding his title, raising it up. That was probably the biggest moment of the entire show. It wasn't the best match of the entire show, but the biggest moment. I mean, for fighting a much bigger man in Nick Aldis, end up winning in front of a crowd that overly loves him, holding it up. The picture was beautiful. He had blood all over his face. He bladed at one point during the diamond cutter. The picture is beautiful. It was a great conclusion to getting the NWA Championship. It was a great match to do so, and everybody was very excited for Cody. We had people in the crowd, like me, the guy next to me, he's over here. We all were like, oh, he won. We're all giving high fives, 2 sweets, everything you can think about. This crowd was doing. We loved the fact that Cody got his title on All In's main card, and it was a big moment. Next, we're going to talk about my favorite match of the entire show. There's many great matches on here. Cody's was a great match. The women's match was great. I loved Daniels and Amel's match. Lethal and Flip later on in the show were great. Penazero and Omega, Omega was great. Skrull and Okada. All these matches were great. But this was my absolute favorite match of the entire show. And it flew on after the match, too. In this match, we had Hangman Page versus Joey Janela. Now, I did not have much background on Joey Janela. I did like Hangman Page. He's one of my favorites in the Bullet Club, along with Marty Scurll. And of course, Cody Rhodes. Basically, everybody in the Bullet Club is my favorite. But in this match, it was very good. There was one part in this match where Joey Janela walked all the way up to the entrance, right? He had a clothesline onto Hangman. Then they set up two tables on the little entranceway. 2 tables. Hangman Page absolutely killed Joey Janela. And I'm saying this, I am sticking by this. He picked him up in the powerbomb position and he threw him like at least 5 to 10 feet. And Joey Janela only hits the first table. It was brutal. It made me cringe. I was like, ooh, Joey Janela was a beast. Joey Janela in this match was absolutely a beast. Then, of course, Joey Janela, he comes back in the ring after fighting out a little bit. Hangman Page is back in the ring. Joey Janela gets a ladder and a table. He's going to do a elbow drop or something off the top of the ladder. Up comes Hangman, fighting up, shows him off. And then Hangman, this entire story, he has the bag. It's like a trash bag. And Penelope Ford was doing a tug of war with him. And out comes the boots of Joey Ryan. And he's scared. But then he goes down, he grabs the telephone off the bottom. And it was one of these old-fashioned telephones which has the wire. So he grabs one of them, he comes up to the top of the ladder, he starts wrapping it around him, around Joey Janela. He picks Joey Janela up, and then, I don't even know what to call it. He throws him over his head. Joey Janela's head is face down on the back of Hangman Page. And he jumps off, lands on it. It looks like Joey Janela literally died. He fell on the back of his head. Hangman Page goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3. I don't know who Joey Janela was before this, but I know Joey Janela is great. Joey Janela, in this match, he took all the high spots. Hangman Page, very good wrestler. But Joey Janela absolutely did phenomenal. He took a bunch of brutal bumps, and I gotta give Joey Janela a round of applause for that. Very good for Joey Janela. Next, we had a pretty good match. And when I say pretty good, this is probably also a contender for match of the night. It's Jay Lethal versus Flip Gordon now. Flip Gordon obviously won over the Budget Battle Royal earlier in the night. But Jay Lethal comes down looking like the Macho Man, Machismo, Black Machismo. You already know. But this match started off with, obviously, since Brandy Rhodes is a part of the Flip Gordon tag team, she came down with Flip. The whole start is Brandy's over here, Black Machismo, my boy Jay Lethal. It ain't even Jay Lethal shirts. I was mad about that. But he kept bringing her to his side of the ring, and then she kept walking away. And then he went up, picked her up, and we had one of those Miss Elizabeth moments. Yeah, we had a Miss Elizabeth moment. Brandy Rhodes, he's holding her on her shoulder. Very good stuff. Couldn't get my phone out and take the picture in time. I really wanted that picture. That'd be cool. But very good stuff from my boy Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon had a really good match. There was moments in this match where I was like, Flip's gonna win this. Flip had this one combination where he hit a flip. He ran up to the top rope, hit a flip, came back, did a moonsault press, hit that too. 1, 2, no. I was like, dang, that was some good stuff. Flip Gordon had 3 or 4 flips in a row and almost won the championship for Ring of Honor. I was like, dang, Flip Gordon is a god. Flip Gordon had a really good showing. But Jay Lethal, in the end, ended up hitting the lethal injection. Bounced off the ropes, lethal injection. 1, 2, 3. Flip Gordon loses. At the beginning, going into this match, I was like, Jay Lethal's gonna win. He surely has to win. They're not gonna change another title tonight. But in the middle of the match, I'm like, Flip is gonna win this. Flip Gordon is about to be the new champion. It's going to get a huge ovation. Nah. Didn't work out like that. Jay Lethal ended up winning, as I predicted beforehand. Anyways, next we're going to get into Penta El Zero. Sarah Mara. Yeah. Pentagon. And Kenny Omega. Now, the first thing I could do is I had to take a video. My boy Kenny Omega in the ring. We get the elite. Elite. We get those chants going on. I'm like, oh, this is my GOAT. This is the GOAT. We get Kenny Omega. I was getting the Christmas feeling about right before you're about to open the gifts. Ooh, it's here. Let's go. Kenny Omega. Ooh, I was really ready for this. This was a very good match. Kenny Omega ended up winning this match. He hit the One-Winged Angel onto Penta El Zero. This whole match was really good though. Points you thought Penta was gonna win it, points you thought Omega was gonna win, but finally he hit the One-Winged Angel onto Penta Zero. Couldn't do it the entire match. He kept trying, couldn't do it. Penta El Zero finally had the One-Winged Angel hit. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega wins. Kenny Omega's celebrating, and all of a sudden, lights go off. We're like, what? From the arena, you could see somebody run down. We didn't know who it was. Didn't look like Jericho though. He had his hair in a bun. Didn't know who he was. Comes in, and then the lights turn back on. We're like, where'd that guy go? Nothing happens. Then we see Penta El Zero roll back in. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's something off with those tattoos. He doesn't have two tattoos. He doesn't have 2 arms full of tattoos. That's 1 arm. Wait a minute. Those tattoos look quite familiar. Is that? Wait a minute. Was that Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho comes in. And when I'm telling you this, he hits a very good code breaker. Very good. Hits another one too. Takes off the mask. His face painted like Penta El Zero. Right here in the black. Then the white skull-like thing there. Very good picture. Takes off the Penta El Zero costume. And then you see him wearing his shirt. His Judas shirt. Oh my. The picture that was beautiful. Y2J returned at All In, challenges Kenny Omega by saying, Kenny Omega, I'll see you on the Jericho Cruise. Now, everybody knows that this is going to get the You Just Made the List pop. We all did it. Because it was Kenny Omega. But I might have to invest in this Jericho Cruise. I might have to see if it's on television somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be filmed or if it's pay-per-view or anything. I know I can't go on it, but if it happens to be televised, I might be trying to watch it. Don't know. But I really want to see Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Alpha vs. Omega Part 2. I can't wait. Very, very excited about that. Next, we have the second best wrestler in the world. We gotta see 2 of the best wrestlers in the world on the same night. But we had Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. Now, Marty Scurll on his way down to the ring, we see 2 guys pointing at him, saying a bunch of stuff. You're not a heavyweight. You're gonna lose to Okada. And then he hits the snap of the finger. Whoop. He does it in the match later on, too. But this whole match, holy crap. Now, I liked Marty Scurll, but he showed everybody he belongs. Marty Scurll and Okada had a face-to-face, very big size difference. But Marty Scurll did not take into the size difference. It didn't bother him. Marty Scurll in this match had one of the best showings I've ever seen from a much smaller guy. Marty Scurll hit his finisher at one point in the match. I'm sorry, I don't know what his finisher is. I don't know the name for it. But Okada sold this brilliantly. Marty Scurll went for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. He kicked out. Like, right as the hand touched the ground, he kicked out. The closest count I've ever seen. The biggest moment in that match was when he kicked out. It was a very, very close count. We were all shocked. We were like, oh my, that was the best close count we've ever seen. Holy crap. Did Marty Scurll just make everybody think he won? Then Marty Scurll ended up taking 2 clotheslines from Okada. Okada picked up the victory. Not much you can do. Then, at the end, we have the Golden Elite versus Rey, Phoenix, and Bandito. Very good match. Rey came out looking like Wolverine. The Golden Elite did what they did. Ibushi had a good showing. Matt Jackson is a freaking beast. He took a bunch of hurricanranas in a row, landed right on the head a couple times. Right after 619, Matt Jackson is a freaking beast. But Golden Elite picks up the victory. The Golden Elite picks up the victory. And what you guys didn't see is after the show. My phone died. But I had my dad there and I was like, record this. After the show, they went on like a 15-minute rant. Not a single person left. We were all standing there. All standing up. Nobody was sitting either. We were all listening to what Matt and Nick Jackson had to say. They called down Cody. They called down Hangman. They called down Marty. Marty didn't show up though because he lost, obviously. And, well, talking about Hangman, I forgot to mention, Joey Ryan made a return, and Hangman got kidnapped by a bunch of penises. Yeah. Joey Ryan made his return. It was great. It's great stuff. But, back on the whole, he called out all the Bullet Club. They had a good speech. Very, very good. Each of them went along their, said their piece. They thanked us. They gave it to Cody. Cody was like, it's the Young Bucks that helped me do this. They wanted me here. They brought me in for my passion. But it's all of you guys that made this happen. Then he presented Omega the mic. Omega said his piece about how I know where everybody wants me to go. But for now, the Bullet Club, we're staying right here. Staying together. They said they're going to stay together. Now, the way they put it is that they're going to go together. So what makes me think is, what if Undisputed is still in NXT and Omega, Cody, the Young Bucks, and the Hangman all debut, and they all become in NXT come January. Very, very possible. The almighty dollar might come back to hurt them, but very possible. Like I said, I know where everybody wants me to go. Huge course of booze. Nobody wanted them. A huge course. And then he was like, but we're going to stay together. Very, very good moment. They all hugging each other. Then Kenny Omega. But for now, I abdo you a goodbye and good night.